Have you ever noticed that the people who speak the least often make the biggest impact? That the loudest voices aren't always the most powerful ones? The real power, the kind that moves mountains and changes lives, often hides in silence. Silence. It's a word that many misunderstand. In a world that celebrates speaking out, boasting, and constantly showing your opinion, staying quiet is often mistaken for weakness. People assume that if you don't voice every thought, you lack knowledge or confidence. But in reality, silence is a strategic tool, one of the most powerful tools you can use to achieve success. Think about this. When you remain silent, you're not passive. You're observing, analyzing, and absorbing everything happening around you. You're learning without speaking, noticing patterns, understanding people, and carefully deciding the right moment to act. Those who master the art of silence often have a clarity of mind that others lack. They can read situations better, respond smarter, and make decisions with precision. History is filled with examples of people who understood this principle. Nelson Mandela, for instance, spent years in prison without speaking unnecessarily, without reacting impulsively. His silence was not emptiness, it was strategy. It allowed him to reflect, grow stronger mentally, and wait for the perfect moment to influence an entire nation. Imagine the strength it takes to stay calm and silent when the world is shouting around you, when every injustice and insult could provoke a reaction. That strength is cultivated through silence. Silence isn't just about external observation, it's about internal mastery as well. Every time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you gain control over your emotions. You develop patience, discipline, and an unshakable inner strength. These qualities form the backbone of every achievement, every great endeavor, and every successful life. The ability to act deliberately, to speak only when necessary, and to let your results speak for themselves, that is the essence of silent power. Let's consider modern examples. Elon Musk often gives minimal answers in interviews. People notice, they pay attention, and his silence amplifies his presence. Steve Jobs was known for listening more than talking, choosing his words carefully, and letting his work showcase his vision. The less you speak without purpose, the more every word you choose carries weight. Silence, in this way, becomes a tool of influence. Now, imagine the mental clarity that comes from silence. By stepping back from constant chatter, both in your mind and from the world, you give your brain space to think creatively. The quiet moments allow you to connect dots, see solutions you might have missed, and develop ideas that can transform your life. Even Einstein sought solitude and quiet walks, finding in silence the sparks of genius. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people rarely react impulsively? They don't rush to respond. They don't let their emotions control them. That's the hidden power of silence. Silence is not just about holding your tongue, it's about mastering yourself. Every moment you resist the urge to speak or react impulsively, you're exercising control over your mind and your emotions. This is what separates average people from extraordinary ones. Inner strength is not built by shouting the loudest or proving your point the fastest. It is built in quiet moments, in restraint, in choosing when to act and when to observe. Think about anger. How often do we speak or act without thinking when we are frustrated or upset? And how often does that impulsive reaction cause regret? Silence allows you to pause, reflect, and approach situations with a calm and focused mind. It turns potential mistakes into opportunities. It converts impulsive energy into productive action. The greatest achievers in history have leveraged this principle time and again. Mahatma Gandhi remained calm in the face of oppression, often using silence as a weapon more powerful than any protest. Winston Churchill carefully measured his words, knowing that a single statement could sway nations. Their silence was intentional, a mark of control, discipline, and foresight. But it's not only about external control. Silence strengthens your internal world as well. It gives you space to understand your own thoughts, your motivations, and your goals. Self-discipline grows when you learn to say no to distractions, to resist gossip, to focus on what truly matters. Every silent choice, every moment you refrain from unnecessary speech or action, compounds over time, building resilience and mental toughness. Science even supports this. Studies show that individuals who practice mindfulness and quiet reflection have stronger emotional regulation, better decision-making abilities, and higher cognitive clarity. In other words, silence literally rewires your brain for success. It trains you to respond thoughtfully rather than react instinctively, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and to maintain composure under pressure. Silence also teaches patience, the ability to wait for the right moment. Patience is critical in every domain of life: business, relationships, personal growth. Those who understand that acting at the perfect time yields better results than acting out of haste will always have an edge. And the foundation of patience is cultivated in quiet, unassuming moments of reflection. Every time you choose to observe rather than speak, you're preserving your energy for battles that truly matter. You're sharpening your focus and strengthening your mind. You're learning the art of timing. When to act, when to respond, and when to let events unfold. That is the silent power that builds champions. Have you ever noticed how the quiet person in a room suddenly commands attention without saying a word? Their silence speaks volumes, and people naturally lean in to listen. Silence is not just a tool for self-control. It's a tool for influence. When you speak less, each word you do choose to speak carries more weight. People tend to underestimate those who stay quiet, only to be surprised by the power behind their words or actions. In essence, silence creates a sense of mystery, and mystery naturally draws respect and attention. Think about it. In any meeting, negotiation, or social situation, who do you remember most clearly? Often it's not the person who spoke the most, but the one who listened, observed, and then made a concise, impactful statement. Silence allows you to gather information, understand dynamics, and strike at the perfect moment. The quiet ones often hold the advantage, because they have the full picture before anyone else does. Historical and modern examples abound. Elon Musk, for instance, is famous for giving minimal answers in interviews. People pay attention when he does speak because every word matters. Steve Jobs was another master of this principle, choosing his words carefully and letting his vision and work communicate more than any speech ever could. Their silence amplified their influence, making every action and word count exponentially more. Silence also enhances your presence. When you speak less, your gestures, tone, and body language become more noticeable. People are drawn to those who don't constantly fill the space with noise. Your quiet demeanor signals confidence, self-assurance, and control. Others begin to trust that your words are deliberate, your actions intentional, and your decisions well thought out. Beyond influence, silence fosters respect. Many leaders fail because they speak without purpose, trying to impress or dominate. Those who embrace silence earn respect not by forcing it but by demonstrating calmness, patience, and thoughtful action. Others instinctively value what comes from a measured, quiet mind. Silence also cultivates strategic thinking. By holding back and observing, you gain insight into people's intentions, your environment, and opportunities you might have otherwise missed. You learn when to act and when to wait, turning the quiet moments into a strategic advantage. Finally, silence is contagious. When you remain composed and quiet, it often causes others around you to calm down and pay attention. In tense situations, a quiet leader can redirect energy and focus, inspiring action without ever raising their voice. Remember this: speaking less is not weakness. It is a declaration of strength. Silence creates intrigue, influence, and impact. Those who master it shape the world around them without ever shouting. Ever wonder why the greatest ideas often come in moments of quiet? When the world is loud, the mind of the silent thinker works wonders. Silence is not just a tool for influence or control. It's a catalyst for creativity and deep thinking. When you step back from constant noise, emails, notifications, social chatter, or even your own racing thoughts, you give your brain the space it needs to innovate. Solitude and silence allow ideas to flourish that would otherwise get lost in the chaos of everyday life. Consider the most influential minds in history. Albert Einstein often sought solitude and long walks, where quiet reflection allowed him to see the universe in ways others couldn't. Isaac Newton formulated the laws of motion while sitting alone under an apple tree, disconnected from the distractions of society. In modern times, leaders like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk frequently emphasize the importance of focused, uninterrupted thinking for breakthrough innovations. The common thread? Silence. When your mind isn't constantly bombarded with noise, it can form connections others miss. It can combine ideas in unique ways. It can see solutions where others only see problems. Silence allows your subconscious to work, your intuition to guide you, and your creativity to reach its full potential. Beyond genius-level breakthroughs, silence also strengthens problem-solving in everyday life. When faced with challenges, a quiet mind analyzes the situation without emotional bias. Decisions made from a place of calm reflection are far more effective than those made in haste or under pressure. It's in these silent moments that you find clarity and strategic insight. Moreover, silence teaches discipline and focus. By dedicating time to quiet reflection daily, even 10 or 15 minutes, you train your mind to concentrate, prioritize, and execute tasks efficiently. This practice compounds over time, enhancing both productivity and creativity. Another benefit is mental resilience. A person comfortable in silence is less easily swayed by external pressures. They can think independently, trust their judgment, and pursue unconventional solutions without seeking constant approval or validation. Silence cultivates self-reliance, which is a cornerstone of long-term success. Lastly, silence encourages observation. By observing quietly, you notice details others miss, behavioral patterns, opportunities, hidden challenges. These observations become insights that inform smarter decisions, innovative strategies, and creative solutions. It's like having a superpower, seeing what everyone else overlooks. Remember this: noise is everywhere, but ideas are born in quiet. Those who embrace silence sharpen their thinking, unleash creativity, and discover solutions that the world never imagined. The loudest voices often get heard first, but it's the quiet ones who leave a lasting legacy. Success isn't about who shouts the most, it's about who acts with purpose in silence. Silence is not just a temporary tactic, it's a long-term strategy for success. Many people make the mistake of constantly sharing their plans, dreams, and ideas with everyone around them, thinking this will bring validation or support. But in reality, premature disclosure often wastes energy, invites unnecessary criticism, and dilutes focus. Those who master silence, however, preserve their energy, protect their vision, and allow results to speak for themselves. Consider some of the most successful figures in history and today. Warren Buffett, one of the world's greatest investors, is famously quiet about his strategies. He observes, analyzes, and makes decisions with incredible precision. His silence is intentional. It allows him to focus on what matters, rather than getting distracted by the noise of opinions or trends. Similarly, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk carefully curated what they shared publicly. They let their work, innovations, and results communicate their vision more powerfully than any words ever could. Silence also allows for strategic patience. The ability to wait for the right opportunity to act at the perfect moment is one of the greatest advantages a person can have. Impulsive action often leads to mistakes or wasted effort. Those who embrace silence develop foresight, discernment, and timing, all critical for long-term success. Beyond strategy, silence preserves your mental and emotional energy. Talking incessantly, reacting to every comment, and seeking constant approval drains focus. By remaining quiet and selective about when to act or speak, you conserve your energy for meaningful work. This mental clarity allows you to tackle complex challenges, innovate, and maintain consistency over the years, qualities that compound into extraordinary achievement. Silence also builds reputation. People naturally respect those who do not rush to prove themselves verbally. They pay attention to every word and action, knowing that it carries weight. This respect is subtle, but it's a form of influence that endures longer than loud self-promotion ever could. Finally, silence enables introspection and growth. By spending time in quiet reflection, you gain insight into your own strengths, weaknesses, and goals. You can track progress, refine strategies, and align your actions with your long-term vision. Every great leader, thinker, and innovator use silence not only as a tool for strategy, but as a mirror for self-improvement. Remember this: work in silence, let your results make the noise. Those who master the art of quiet focus, patience, and strategic restraint don't just achieve success, they create a legacy.